Hello, everyone. We are wrapping up GFOA today, and it has been a wonderful experience for the Avero team. It's our first year having a booth, and we've learned a lot. We've met a lot of people. We've gained some knowledge. I'm here, obviously, with our CEO, and I just want him to talk a little bit about lessons learned, what's in the market, what he's seeing, and just the experience, and what you've seen here today and the 2 days that we've.
So it's really been exciting to be a vendor and an exhibitor at GFOA. We had 4,500 people at the conference. I think a lot of them stopped by our booth, and we had such great engagement, such good conversations about and the need in the market that we've sensed over the last 7 years of our listings is really still there, right? There's a lot of good vendors, there's a lot of good software out there. We're talking about ERP systems for financial departments and a lot of great products. And what's upcoming is the impact of AI on all of these products and how that's going to change lives for our clients and for ourselves. I think that's the most excited I am about. That's what I'm most excited about. And the second thing is a lot of people we talk to were really excited to meet us because we are independent third-party consultants that are in their corner on their behalf. And when we walked around and talked to some vendors for competition, we didn't hear the words customer from that. We care about our customers, and that shows to our brand and how we've handled ourselves at this conference. But at the same time, it's a little disheartening to see that no one's talking about the customer. We're all talking about the product or the service. And that's one thing we really care about, and we feel like stand out or anything. Our interactions with kick this off about the boat or at the happy hour has been, it's shown that that's a good way for businesses. I'm really proud of my team for doing that.
We're proud. We're proud to be here. So what are you most excited about in your Avero's? This is big time for our team. So talk about it.
Thanks. I'm filled with a sense of pride because, you stand back and look at our presence here and how we'll dealt with our people that have walked in, people our booth, and our clients that have come in to see us. I'm filled with pride because, this came out of thin air. Avero didn't exist 7 years ago, and here we are, rocking and rolling. And a lot of people came and said we would be up and coming star of the third-party consulting world. We're not quite new anymore. It's not a startup, but we're starting to make it in. We're here for the long haul. We're here to punch above our weight and to care for our clients coming. And just being here for the last 2 days has shown me that it's a worthwhile pursuit and that we're doing it.
And it feels good for me to be a part of something like it. So it's been very eye-opening and quite the experience, and a lot of work went into there.
Yeah. And thank you for pushing us. I was like, we're going to need a pool of things stop by, but
a lot of persuading. It did.
But no, it's been great. So thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you, guys. What does that framework look like? What is the strategy of implementing an ERP? And really talking to them about assessing what that looks like. Talking with their people to help with not only just the system aspect, but the change management aspect. We say all the time, these projects are not just software projects, they're people projects. And so how do you get people on board, get them excited about change, a new system that could really revolutionize their organization, and talk to them about what they need. I think that's the number one thing is we're really open to talking about, what they actually need and not just trying to push them into something that we think that they could potentially need, or, we don't recommend any software vendor. It is strictly data-driven in decisions, and, really talking them through how that works and how that could work for them. So painting a picture of, what that strategy could look like for them. A lot of people we've spoken with have said, man, I wish you guys were around, 6 months ago or a year ago, or I wish we would have known you all, 10 years ago or what have you. But I tell those people, we can still help. Oh, yeah. About that? Yes. So I've talked to multiple people this, I want to say weekend, but it's, we don't know it. Yeah, don't know what date it's never too late. So especially if you've signed a contract or you're about to sign a contract or you've started implementing and you don't have a third party in there to help mitigate and hold people accountable. So that's a really big thing, to make sure you're getting what you're paying for, what you're contracted for. And it more often than not, there's not a third party vendor there, or there's not someone in there that's really advocating for the client, to making sure that their needs are met and that their requirements are met from a functionality standpoint. So, wherever an organization is in the process, you can always bring someone like Avero in to help assess how that's going, especially if it's not going well. Even if you've already implemented and it didn't go great, maybe it was a training issue, maybe something's not configured correctly. What does that look like? How do you get the most out of your system? We help with that as well. So,
yes. Thank you, Katie. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for sharing.
Of course,
sharing yourself.
Thank you.
Hey guys, we're wrapping up GFOA today, and we've spent 3 days here, and it's been a wonderful time.
Hey, everybody.
And I did want to ask you some questions around what your experience was during our time. So
Absolutely.
the first question is, a lot of the people we saw would come up to us and say, "Hey, what software do you recommend? Like, who should we go? Here's what we're dealing with, and which software vendor do you guys recommend?" We offer a very unbiased opinion, right?
Absolutely.
I always give the consultant answer.
It depends.
So can you dive into that a little bit?
Yeah, and I think that's a great question, Megan. And to our audience out there, how you doing? We're just wrapping things up here. I've had the privilege of talking with folks from a lot of municipalities this week here at GFOA about that. And the thing that I've said to them is, even though we've got all the big ERP solution providers here on site, don't just look to buy the big name. What you want to do is go through a process like our guided process where we're defining your requirements, and then push those requirements out to the vendors so that you can move forward with a solution that best meets your needs, and you're not necessarily going after the big name. Because it doesn't matter how sophisticated it is, if it doesn't work for you and your team, then it may not be the right fit. So I definitely, and I've been doing this for going on 20 years, don't just go and make the purchase. Bring on a professional project manager, to help you guys define those requirements and manage the project accordingly.
So we've talked a lot about our.
They're literally turning. It's fine. Keep going. We don't stop.
That's right. Hey, this right here is indicative that there's going to be ups and downs on your project.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've talked a lot about building relationships with our potential clients, our current clients. So how important are our vendor relationships?
Absolutely. I mean, we look at it as a triad. We have our clients that we represent. That's going to be your project sponsor. You have Avero Advisors, which is going to be your project manager. And then you've got the solution provider, and they're going to be a long-term strategic partner. I had the opportunity to talk with a lot of our ERP partners here this week, Megan, and the thing that I really liked is they were asking us, what is Avero seeing in the marketplace? And they're very interested in learning more about what our clients' needs are versus just trying to straight push the product. Yep. And I mean, you have to keep that dialogue going on. I mean, for us, we build long-term advisory relationships, and with the software as a service model, it's not like you're just buying the solution and then the vendor's going away. And in the near future, we're going to see where on-premise versions are not even offered. So looking at them as a strategic partner is going to come more and more into play. So I was really, really impressed overall with GFOA. I know that talking with AV earlier, we feel that this is one of the best conferences that we've been to. And I look forward to reaching out, to all the folks that we had a chance to network with.
Absolutely. It's cool to see things come full circle because last year Katie and I attended as delegates, right? And we wanted to see, like, get a feel for how things would go. Should we do a booth? Should we not? And it's cool to see where we've come in. So thank you, Adrian.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you guys always, and we'll be back.
Yeah, to everybody that stopped by booth 444, we appreciate you, and we'll see you at happy hour here soon. Thanks.